Human development isn't just one straight road. It's more like a whole network of different paths, and every single one is unique. But let's be honest, the words we use to talk about these different journeys, they can get really confusing. So in this explainer, we're going to untangle 3 of the most important and maybe most misunderstood terms out there. So you've probably heard these words thrown around, right? Sometimes people use them like they mean the same thing. Disability, disorder, delay. But do they? Well, not exactly. And figuring out the difference is actually way more important than you might think. Getting the word right can literally change everything. Okay, so before we jump into a bunch of definitions, let's just take a second to talk about why this is so important. I promise this isn't just about being picky with words or finding the perfect label. It goes way deeper than that. Think of it like this. These terms aren't just labels. They're gateways. Having that precise language is the key that unlocks the right doors, to specific therapies, to school plans that are actually tailored to a kid's needs, and to all kinds of community resources. Using the correct term is what makes sure someone gets the support that really truly fits what they need. All right, let's get right to the heart of it. We're going to break down each of these 3 key terms one by one so we can build a really clear picture of what each one actually means. First up, we have developmental disability. The best way to think about this one is as a big, broad umbrella category. It's a term that covers a whole bunch of different chronic conditions that are lifelong and usually show up sometime during that developmental period before age 22. And under that huge umbrella, you'll find there are 4 main areas where these disabilities can appear. We're talking about challenges with intellectual skills, physical abilities, communication, or with behavior. Next, let's get a little more specific and talk about neurodevelopmental disorders. Now, the key word to focus on here is neuro. That means it's all about the brain and the nervous system. These conditions are specifically rooted in how the brain itself grows and functions. So what we're really talking about are differences in the brain's actual wiring. And those differences affect how a person gets through their daily life, whether that's at school, at work, or just in their social life. To make this super clear, let's talk about some examples you've definitely heard of. Things like autism spectrum disorder, ADHD, and specific learning disorders like dyslexia. Yep, they all fall under this category of neurodevelopmental disorders. And finally, our third term, developmental delay. This one is all about timing. It simply means that a child is moving through the usual stages of development, but they're doing it at a slower pace than most of their peers. You know those developmental milestones like crawling for the first time, saying their first words, or learning how to play with other kids? Well, think of them as checkpoints. A delay just means a child is taking a little longer to get to one or more of those checkpoints, whether it's with their motor skills, their speech, or their social development. Okay, so we've got our 3 definitions down, but you and I both know that real life is never that neat and tidy. So now let's look at how these ideas often overlap and, more importantly, how we can actually tell them apart. So get this, these conditions are definitely not always separate. In fact, if a child has one developmental disorder, there's a 40% chance they have another one too. That's a huge overlap. And it's exactly why being clear about these distinctions is so incredibly important. So here's how to break it all down. Disabilities are usually lifelong and can impact several parts of a person's life. Disorders tend to describe more specific, persistent patterns of challenges, but delays are mainly about not hitting those age-based milestones. And this is the really key part. They can often be resolved with early support. And to give you a sense of just how common this is, about 15% of all children are affected by some kind of developmental delay or disorder. So this isn't some rare niche issue. It's a really significant part of the human experience that touches families all over the world. But here is the most hopeful and honestly, the most powerful number of all. When we get the right kind of support in place early on, we see major improvements in up to 60% of cases. That's incredible. It just goes to show you, early action makes a world of difference. So, all of this brings us to our final and maybe most important point. Knowing what these terms mean is step 1, but the next step is understanding the path that this knowledge opens up for people. So, what does that path to support actually look like? Well, it all starts with early screening and just keeping an eye on things. That leads to getting an accurate diagnosis, which then lets professionals create a support plan that's tailored for that specific individual. And the result of that whole process? Dramatically improved outcomes in the long run. In the end, it all comes down to this. The more we understand these differences, the better we can support people and their families. But it's bigger than that. Building this kind of understanding in our schools, in our workplaces, and just in our communities, that's the only way we're going to create real acceptance and finally get rid of the stigma around developmental variations. So the question is, how can each of us play a part in building that understanding?